Main idea and supporting details. When you're looking at nonfiction text to figure out the main idea and the supporting details, you need to figure out who or what does what and why or how. And that who or what and what they do is generally your main idea. And then the why or how is going to be your supporting details. Let's take a look at this reading passage on the Pennsylvania Railroad. The Pennsylvania Railroad Company was set up in 1846. Originally, it was supposed to run between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. At first, it only had freight trains which carried goods and supplies. Then, in 1848, it began running a passenger train. The company grew quickly. By 1856, the Pennsylvania Railroad went to Chicago, Illinois. After the Civil War, it went to Washington, D.C., St. Louis, Missouri, New York City, and other large cities. So it went to a lot of different large cities. By 1910, the Pennsylvania Railroad's tracks covered 10,000 miles. There's a lot of change from beginning to end. Notice that. At this point, you may need to look at this, rewind and rewatch the part where I read the passage to get all this information. But what is the main idea? Well, the Pennsylvania Railroad Company became a large railroad, is the key idea in this passage. And really, how do I know that? Well, here are the supporting details throughout the passage that tell me that. It started between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh, and then it only had freight trains until 1848. These supporting details tell me how it started. Now, and it had passenger trains in 1848. Now it tells me a change. In 1856, it went to Chicago, Illinois. So now it's in a new city. It's changed how far it goes. After the Civil War, it went to a bunch of large cities. Remember, it listed all those large cities? So it increased the number of places it went. Again, the Pennsylvania Railroad Company became a large railroad. Finally, by 1910, the tracks covered 10,000 miles. So it took all that information in the passage, took some of the supporting details, used them to create a main idea. The Pennsylvania Railroad Company became a large railroad. The next skill that you really want to focus on is what would a good title be for that passage? So you take those supporting details, you think about them, and answer that question. What would a good title be? Pause the video and think. What would a good title be? I just thought the Pennsylvania Railroad would be an excellent title because it's short and it tells me what I'm going to read about.